Okay, let's begin. I am Lanice Antoine Shelley, and I'll be your host through constructive, healing-based conversations designed to illuminate the adoptee, parents, and the adoption curious. We center the topics around community, mentorship, leadership, and healing, so you get a multi-dimensional view that is ultimately empowering. These are the voices who could not speak when they were young. Hey y'all, if you've seen me on Instagram, I'm in my summer glow phase and I am unapologetic about it. My hair is luscious. Fun fact, I didn't start properly treating and doing my own hair until I was a grown adult because like many Black adoptees, no one showed me how to do my own hair. And because I love you all so much, I'm going to share with you my hair secret. I'm always on the lookout for things you'd love and things that will enhance your well-being inside and out. We Unique Cosmetics sent me their Moisture Lock pomade and scalp and hair therapy oil from their Metamorphosis line, and it's so decadent, light, and nourishing, fam. This has become a hair routine staple. It has a soft lemongrass scent that people comment on when I walk by or when they're doing my hair because now I have boho locks. They also sent me a 15% discount link for you to try their products and hair tutorial service. And Unique Cosmetics is Black owned and operated by a mother and daughter duo dedicated to helping the adoptee community. Check out the link in the show notes. And this is for all ages, fam. So tell your friends. So come on, embark on a hair-loving journey with We Unique World. From interactive workshops to premium products, they're all about empowering you to embrace your unique hair journey. Because remember, all hair is good hair, especially when it's healthy. Hey fam, we are back. I know it's been a week, but so much seems to happen in a single week these days. Are you okay? How are you? I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. Remember that you can reach out to me on Instagram at Young Adoptee. I'm going to do my pop-up high teas, the HGTV series I've started to connect with you. I wanted to share some of my favorite podcasts, influencers, books, what have you. So be looking out for that. If there are other things you'd like me to focus on, let a Haitian know. I've got some special topics coming up, but I'm here for you. So please, what do you want to hear? What do you want to see? And how do you want to connect with me? Okay, I must say, as we go deep into the holiday season, here is a friendly reminder that you can do holidays your way. This season can be a triggering time for those who are single or with complicated family situations. The pressure to be together with others can be suffocating. Let's not plummet into scarcity mindset, okay? You are abundant and enough. You don't need that dress or date or party or hat. You don't even have to go outside at all. In fact, it might be best if you didn't. Let's get to it. We are back with the conclusion of Schai's conversation with her brothers Manny and Jaccen. They go in about their own individual adoption journey and give us some advice on how we can do adoption better. At the very end, I check in with Schai to see how she thought the interview went, so stay tuned for that. This trio is incredibly inspiring. I love how they are able to support and uplift one another. Most of all, I am in awe of how steadfast and secure they are in one another's lives and love. A true aspirational example. Now here's Schai Belair Toussaint Schairer and her brothers Jaccen and Manny.
Go ahead, Manny.
Yeah, like the kids model so much, and then they kind of have to ask themselves the questions like, is my kid going to be modeling a white man or a man trying to be a Black man trying to be a model? Like,
yeah. And that's interesting because like I was actually like I remember I was talking to my mom a few months ago, and I was kind of like I was telling her like I really enjoy the time that we had like when we would go to Triangle X, because we used to go to this ranch in Wyoming. I think I told you this, Manny. And we would go like every 2 years, and I was just like, I really enjoyed my time there, but like I almost probably would have preferred like you sending me to Haiti during those times, you know, like sending me to my orphanage so I could like be with my people, like, you know, and like so I could like learn things, and like there's 2, potentially 3 languages we don't even know, you know what I mean? Because like some Haitians speak Spanish as well, you know, so it's just like there's a bunch of languages that we're not in touch with. There's thankfully like I live across the street from this Haitian restaurant that's just amazing, but so like I have that, but like the Haitian food, like Haitian porridge, just like legumes, like everything, you know, like the goat stew that you guys love, you know,
we're just not aware.
No fault. Like I don't blame mom for it at all, you know, like, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it doesn't hurt, because it hurts.
Yeah, it definitely hurts.
You know, but and like when for a Haitian, like be like, oh, you're not a real Haitian. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's a hard one to hear too. That's a hard one to hear too, because if you go there, that you're not a real Haitian, and then you kind of stuck in 2 worlds.
Yeah, and then but here you're not really black, you know, and in Canada you're not black either, you know what I mean? So it's like what do you mean? Because I get people that walk up to me like at least once a month. I'll have like somebody walk up to me at least once a month, like, hey, where you from? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, well, you don't look like regular black. I'm like, what is regular black? What is that? I mean, like, you just don't look like you're from here. You don't have the regular black people DC skin. And I'm just like, I didn't know that DC people had black skin that other black people don't have, you know, like but it's just crazy, you know, and it's like I told people, like, I've never been 100% comfortable with black people. I've never been 100% comfortable with white people, but I've always been 100% comfortable with other adoptees.
Yeah.
When I'm in a room full of other adopted people, when I know they're adopted, I'm like, oh, all right, I'm good, you know. But like with my friends, I'm like even my black friends, I'm like, yeah, we're black, but like y'all is different. Like y'all don't, like, my mother ain't beat me with the belt. She put me in timeout, you know. It's like, so it's like just cultural differences. I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, I think that caught in 2 worlds is one of those checklists that we were just talking about. It's like how are you going to address this? Are you going to talk to your kid about it, or are you just going to ignore it and try to like teach in both worlds? Like, yeah, like that caught in both worlds. It's a tough one, I believe.
I think, but like now it's interesting because now I feel like we're kind of caught in like 3 worlds. Even you, Bug, you know, because it's just like we're caught, like we're Haitian black, but we're black and black America or white America, whatever, right? But then we also have this whole nother life now, like in Canada, you know, and so like we're still trying to and we're all still trying to figure out how to navigate this new relationship, you know. Like you 2 have your own relationship you guys need to navigate. Jason and I have our own relationship that we're trying to navigate, you know. Manny and I are still trying to navigate our relationship, you know. And so it's just like, it's so, I don't know. It's just, I don't think I'm ever going to get used to it.
No, probably not. Because like you said, it's just going to keep changing.
Yeah.
The dynamics of each situation will just keep changing as the years move. You know what I'm saying? Just things will move, the dynamics will move, things will happen. One situation might require more attention than another one at a given year, a given time. So yeah, it's definitely it's just gonna keep being a revolving door. But it's fun. It's an interesting revolving door. It definitely. I will say, being adopted. The huge plus that I will give about being adopted, which I love having a leg up on other people, is the ability to I feel like being adopted, I understand people more than other people.
Yeah,
because
that's a lot more.
Yeah, so I'll like, whereas especially in today's climate in the US, whereas people will question why, especially being adopted by, being Black and being adopted by, a white family. I feel like, and especially in today's climate, being able to talk to, other friends who are Black and try to explain to them why people may be doing XYZ, because you've been around, you've been around them a lot. You were sent to camps. Well, you feel me? You were sent to summer camps, majority white people. So it's just being able to, and not just white people, just other races and ethnicities as well. I feel like being adopted, we're able to understand them better and just, see both sides of a ball, or of an issue at certain times. Whereas, the average human who's not adopted and who doesn't have our experiences, they're looking through their lens and only their lens. So that is the one big plus that I do give to being.
I would agree with that too. Like just that going back to that part where we were saying that like we don't feel 100% comfortable in both sides. But that being said, we are able to go back and forth a lot smoother than than non-adoptees, I would believe.
Yes, definitely, and that it's helped me.
I agree with that. I agree. We look at things like through a different lens.
And then if it's not sympathizing or empathizing, I feel like we're probably more inclined to penalize people as well faster or more harshly than other people would do, because again, we might understand, or we might, know what said person, or what somebody was thinking in the moment, or what they were probably thinking, or we're just we've maybe been in that situation or been around that situation. So we're also able to, where somebody else might give them the benefit of the doubt, we know better because we're like, no, X, Y, and Z, we know, so we're just, I don't know. I think it gives us a
so that actually is a good segue to the next question. Is that what actions or conversations could have changed the experience for you? Is there anything that could have been done
to change the experience of
just being adopted?
I don't understand the question.
So is there anything that could have been done that could have changed the experience for you? Is there anything that your parents could have done? For example, for me, I think one thing that, like I said, instead of going to the ranch every 2 years, I think I would have went to Haiti every 2 years, and just been around my people, or just learning Creole, even just playing soccer, love soccer. If I was just just playing soccer and just and then say I go to Haiti next month, and I if I take a soccer ball and I just start kicking around with kids, that's a whole language we're speaking with each other. You know what I mean? And it's just, I think just making sure I stay in touch with the Haitian cuisine and the Haitian food, because I didn't know how people could cook like this, man. How people go down. What about you guys?
It'll probably just be going to Haiti, honestly. What other actions? I mean, okay, outside from that, because I guess that's the obvious one and that's easy. Let me see. Okay, if we're gonna instead of going to Haiti, I guess if I want to say, instead of the summer camps that I would go to, maybe again, a camp or something where it's Haitian kids, and if not just Haitian kids, maybe adoptees or something like that when I was younger.
Yeah, like
that. And then conversations that could have been had. Sheesh. But I feel like every conversation that probably could have been had wouldn't have been had unless the things that 200-page checklist I mentioned earlier was in place to give the the adoptive parent, because again, the conversations that could have been had were definitely, you know, obviously about being, you know, Black in America, how things are different than, you know, than for other races than they are for Black kids. But again, yeah, definitely that, because I think, you know, you probably would have realized things, you know, just move differently, you know, having those conversations. But yeah, that's probably it. Going to like a summer, you know, on like a Black summer camp or like a Haitian camp, or learning a, you know, a native language instead of going to, you know, outdoor camps or something like that.
How has being adopted like impacted your intimate relationships at all? Like both of you guys are in long-term relationships. Has being adopted, like, have you noticed being like your adoption playing any role in it?
Oh, maybe I actually know. I think it has in a big way. It's because like being adopted, I went to a largely Caucasian environment, and I married a Caucasian wife. And I think if I wasn't adopted, I would have been in a more of a Black area, and I would have married a Black wife.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think being adopted, just that I think that navigated that quite a bit by being adopted and ending up where I live and all that. And so I think that had an influence on that for sure.
Hey, I want to share with you something that has changed my life. It's more like someone, my therapist. Why is she so important? Well, because I want to win in this life. I want to break through the carousel of stories I've compiled that hold me back, that keep me from expanding into my full potentiality. Stories of unworthiness, not enoughness, and even stories of questioning why I am here. I also want to stop dumping my unsorted feelings on the people around me and reacting with the same behavioral patterns that keep me stuck. Conversations with my therapist have made me more confident, clearer in my intention, and more centered in my spirit. That is why I am elated that we are sponsored by BetterHelp, where you can, from wherever you happen to be right now, match with a therapist tailored to your exact needs. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. Someone who you can text at any time and schedule online for either a chat, Zoom, or phone call. And if it turns out that your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost. Visit the link in the show notes, betterhelp.com, when they were young, to get 10% off the first month. You need to click the link in the show notes in order to get the 10% discount. I want to see you win, beloved. Let's do it together. Visit the link, betterhelp.com, when they were young.
Cool. What about you, Bug?
I don't believe so. Well, except for the fact that being adopted, we never really talked about stuff, so I don't really talk about my feelings. I just deal with them inside, and then we'll figure it out. We'll work this out by ourselves later.
We never talk about our feelings, and that's the thing. Like you and Mom are like,
like I'm bothering somebody.
You and Mom are very emotional people, but you guys don't talk about it. You know, with me, like I'm very emotional. I'm like, no, like we're gonna talk. Like I want to talk. Like what are we doing? Why aren't you guys talking? like, and like. Mom was just like, nope. And I'm just like, come on, guys. Like,
I just figured this out by myself. But other than that, I don't think so. Actually, being adopted, living in the area we lived, actually probably helped us out a great much, because we're adopted, but living in the area we live, it is definitely a minority-driven area. So, you know, we definitely probably benefited from that. You know, that probably helped make up for, you know, things that, you know, help maybe, I know it definitely helped teach me things that, you know, I didn't learn in the house. coming like street smart wise, I guess. So I'll give it that. But yeah, I think that's it, pretty much.
Dude, so like if you could do things like all over again, if somebody like came right now and was like I'm gonna send you back to the day you were born, would you choose to be adopted or not to be adopted? Like what would you do?
I would choose to be adopted.
It's a great question. That's a great question.
You don't know, like, mind you, you don't know anything about your life. Like, you have no, like, you don't know, like, if you're gonna have.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, is just adopted or not?
I'll probably choose the not, just to see how that works out. And if it's all bad, I'll just go back. Like, oh, get me out of here. Get me out of here. End the simulation. Take me back. Take me back. But yeah, I probably would. I mean, because I already been down one road, so I guess you got to see where the other one goes.
That's right.
Yeah, I see where the other one goes.
Yeah, if I didn't know all of what I know now, I'd probably choose not to get adopted. Just, but if I knew what I did now and I know the people I know, I would choose to get adopted.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That makes sense.
If I know what I know now and the people I know now, I'll definitely probably choose to get adopted again. But if I don't, then yeah, I probably would choose not to.
But like the thing about it is like, I think like thinking about like in an orphanage, right? Like I think a lot of kids are like begging to get adopted, you know? So like you think back into like if you were in an orphanage, would you really choose not to be adopted? Probably not. Like, you know, like please come pick me up, you know?
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
But if I think about it, like if I could do away with like the trauma that it's caused and stuff like that, then like I would still pick, like I would pick to be adopted. I mean, it's taught me a lot, you know, like we've endured a lot, like it's taught me a lot. Like I think it's made me like crazy strong, you know, and crazy resilient. Like, and I think that if I wouldn't have been adopted, then like where would I be? You know what I mean? Like what, like I wouldn't be this person. I'd be somebody completely different. You know?
I don't think we'd be alive for sure.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. I think about that all the time. Like, what would have happened?
Because of the time frame of Haiti, if we were still alive, it would have been a miracle that we made it through.
I mean, I think like if you look at pictures of like the city where we were born, Buck, have you looked at pictures of the city you were born?
No, I have not.
Like, look at pictures of the city we were born. Like, man, we were born in the hood. Like, bro, like we're like.
I do know that though.
The Haitian, the dude that owns the Haitian restaurant outside. I remember I told him like where I was from. He was like, nah, people just say that to sound tough. And I was like, yo, like I'll go get my birth certificate. And then I decided like I was gonna look it up. Bruh, it is the hood. You got like 7-year-olds walking around with machetes and AK-47s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, bro, I don't want no smoke, man.
Yeah, there's like very little chance that we would have been alive because like they had the civil wars, they had the earthquakes, multiple hurricanes, and just like famine and all that. Like, yeah, like I think it's pretty slim.
Yeah, I don't think at least our mom. I don't think our mom is still alive.
No.
Our dad, I'm not sure, but like our mom, I don't think our mom is alive. But all right, y'all. I got one more question. Lanice is gonna be very proud of us, y'all. Like we did an hour. Like
very precise.
Yeah, we should send her our Cash App so she could like cash up us something. We're staying within the time limit. But so this is a question that she asked everybody on the show, so I'm going to ask you guys. She asked me this as well. If you guys listen to my podcast episode, it's the 4th one. Plug.
Hey.
Where in your life can you apply courage?
Where in your life where you can apply courage?
My
Why
life
are you laughing?
It's just a funny question.
Yeah, dude. Where in my life can I apply courage? Interesting question. I think in where in my life. I was gonna be boring and be like in your everyday life. I'll find somewhere specific.
Don't be boring. Oh, geez. It's so not a boring person.
For me,
It's so
I'd say when it comes to like interactions with people, or like when it comes to networking, I guess.
yeah.
'Cause I'm not a networking person. I'm not a, put myself out there. Hey, my name is Jason. I'm working on X, Y, and Z. I'd like to, if you had, I'm not that type of, I don't, sending those emails are hard, man. In person, it's difficult. It's just, I don't know. I'm always worried about the reaction or the response from the person.
Yeah.
It's like, man, what am I? Is this period correct? Is the email like I always overthink it 1,000 ways to the point where you end up just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you miss out on an opportunity. So I guess I'd say networking. Definitely I think definitely could show courage in networking. That's definitely not a strong point for me.
What about you, Manny?
Probably, yeah. I would say pretty close on the same remarks, but on the ability to be able to sell yourself on everything. So just I think like if you're able to sell yourself to anyone in any particular topic and have courage in that, you'll be able to do pretty much anything. You'll be able to get anything.
Okay. Awesome. Well, everybody knows my answer to that.
I don't.
So you didn't listen to the episode?
No, I didn't.
You're showing me that you haven't been a supportive brother.
I'm not. Yeah. Listen to the
Basically, I said courage is just applied in everyday life, like whether it's waking
It's
up
another reason I didn't want to say that.
whether it's just you waking up to the next day saying like I'm gonna try again, and I'm gonna push harder and I'm gonna do it again. Like courage can just be like starting something new. Like it takes courage to start something new, or to go back into something that you had stopped before and you're starting over, like when I decided to go back into like MMA and jiu-jitsu and boxing and everything, like I'd taken a hiatus, and so like I came back in like still as a white belt and like suck, like horrible, and it's just like, but like every black belt is a white belt that just never quit, and so I think that like that takes courage, and then just also just like having the courage to just check yourself and acknowledge like where you can improve and where you can help other people out at.
I was impressed.
Really?
Yes, I enjoyed listening to your brother's insights. What were your takeaways? What do you feel?
They're such men. Like I was like in my head, I was like, go deeper. But like honestly though, like for Bug, like I was so proud of him because I was his first like time doing adoption anything. And so that's a huge step. So I was really proud of him with that. With Manny, like just him even being willing to do it, like come back a second time, like he did the panel initially and then he came back for the podcast. That's huge for him as well. And so both of them took like huge steps or whatever. So I'm very proud of both of them.
Okay. And so where does this nickname Bug come from? You have to tell me that story.
You know, everybody asks me that, and I honestly don't have an answer. Like, it just, one day I just called him Bug and it stuck. I'd like to think that there's like a creative answer and like a long story to it, but there's not. It's just, I just started calling, like, since he was adopted, that was his nickname. And
Okay.
like, I
So
gave it to him, but like,
just as a big sister, you just decided to call him Bug. And
mm,
how old were you when he was adopted, when Jaccen was adopted?
7.
Okay. So there's a huge gap between you two.
Yeah, 6 years. He's March 94 and I'm June 88.
Okay. Wow. And so have you guys always gotten along?
Yeah. Yeah, we've always been like this. Like, even with the age difference, I've always been very protective of him. He's always been like just right there. Very, very steady, very, very chill, very easygoing. Just always looking out. Like, he's just the best little brother you could ever ask for, honestly.
So before Jaccen came along, you were the only child, yes?
Yeah, I was the only child.
And so how was that transition, being the only child, and then all of a sudden you have a younger brother? Did your mom talk to you about the fact that she was adopting another child from Haiti?
Well, the thing was, it's interesting because my mom had like this adoption group and of single moms, single white moms, and they had all adopted girls. And they would all adopted like either one girl or two girls, mostly from Peru and Russia. And then my mom adopted from Haiti, and I begged my mom for a brother. And there's a big piece of me that thinks that that was because I was missing Manny. But like, I begged her for a brother. I was like, I want a little brother. I want a brother. Get me a brother. And one day, like, we're sitting at dinner, and she goes, "Schai, I'm gonna adopt a little boy." And I was like, "What? No, I wanted meatloaf for dinner." And so like my mom tells that story all the time. But yeah, no, he's pretty dope.
Do you remember the day that she brought him home?
I do. I do. I remember the first day I held him. I remember I was the first person to make him laugh. He was a very serious baby at first. He would not smile. And I was the first one to make him laugh. And after that, like, he started warming up. And I remember the first time he came home. I remember what it was like the first time he was in the house. It was so weird. Because we didn't know how the cats were, like, we had cats and we didn't know how they were gonna react to a baby in the house. And I remember like a lot of his first. I remember like like weird stuff. Like, I don't know if I was like old enough to remember, but I remember his first steps. I remember his first injury. Like, I remember like his couple first words. Yeah, like I remember he couldn't even like look out like the screen, like at the door, and then like all of a sudden, like 3 or 4 years later, he's just towering over it. He would like sit on the couch and just like play on, like, because I was a drummer, and so he would like sit on the couch and like bang on the lampshades and everything, like just like natural drumming, because he was like always watching me. And so like there's like little things that I remember about him.
Yeah, you were listing off before all the ways he wanted to be like you.
Yeah.
It was so cute. And what were those again? You have to say them.
He wanted to be a WNBA player because I want to be in the WNBA. Not the NBA, just the WNBA. I want to be a police officer, so he wanted to be a female police officer. It's like,
That's so cute. Oh my goodness. I love that.
yeah.
And in your conversation, you guys got pretty deep, I thought. And there was a moment where you talked about how your mom when you first met Manny, responded to a Facebook post that you were about to meet your brother and that you already had a real brother. Tell me more about that.
Well, it wasn't my mom. It was a friend's mom. Yeah, it was a friend's mom. Yeah, she responded, Bug's your real brother. And it was just like, oh man, it stung. It really stung. And even with that, like, my mom was always telling me like not to forget about Bug. And it's just like, how do you think, how could I possibly forget about Bug? Like, that's not possible. Like, you don't just get a new addition in life and then forget about like the one that's always been there, like that's day one, A1, and Manny is too, like it's just, you can't ask me to choose between either one. Like, take us all out.
Well, I liken it to asking a parent with multiple children, which one is your favorite, right? Because each child has something to contribute. Each sibling has something to contribute, and you love them equally in different ways.
Absolutely. Like with Bug, it was like instant love. With Manny, it was an instant love. Like Bug is much like the way Bug is there for, like the way Bug and I are there for one another is completely different from the way Manny and I are there for one another. And like completely different needs are met. And like, yeah, it's just, I really lucked up.
Both you and Manny have different views on whether you want to pursue searching for other biological families. What are those views?
Manny's cool with just like, he's cool with just me. I'm more like curious. Like, I mean, there's more of us out there. Like, I want to find them all, but Manny's cool. He's just like, no, sis, I'm all right with just you. Like, he doesn't want to dig anymore, which I understand. Yeah. Also, I definitely understand, because it's a lot. Like even with us finding one another, I don't think we fully dealt with it. I don't know if we ever will fully deal with it. I don't think it's ever gonna really fully hit me that he's in my life, and that our whole lives were just like flipped upside down. Yeah.
Well, it takes processing, right? And we're all in process. And I think that, especially in the situations that we're in, the complexity of these situations, we have to allow it to unfold at the pace it wants to. And it may take a lifetime to process all of this stuff, because it is undoing trauma, and then you knit it back together constantly with this healing, with this reunification with biological family members, and then figuring out what your relationship is, and if it works, if it doesn't. It's constantly in flux, and just being available to that. And it sounds like both of you are.
No, we do, like I said, I really lucked up. Because we're both pretty, like, both Manny and Bug are pretty easygoing. I'm much more high maintenance, and they deal with it so beautifully. And like, they're both so easygoing and just kind of go with the flow. And I'm much more no. But they like, the way if Manny, I'll say this, if Manny, although Manny and I are very, very similar, we act very similarly, but if he was more, I guess if he was more emotionally, like if he was more overt with his emotions, I don't know if we would be here, because I'm very vocal with my emotions. And I don't know how it would work. Like he's vocal, but it's in a different way. Like I don't know if it's making what I'm saying is making sense. I don't necessarily know how to explain it in the best way. Like you have to see us together to get it. Like I'm so serious. Like you got like it's so weird. It's so weird.
Well, I hope to someday see both of you together in the same place and all of us just hanging out together. That would be so much fun. But no, I completely understand, right? Because you have a very special dynamic that works and you balance each other out. And that takes a lot. That takes some ancient chemistry, I think, that you guys really just summoned up after, or resurrected rather, after this separation. And I think it's beautiful that you found each other. But what do you think about this conversation? Do you think that this conversation that you had has any kind of bearing on future conversations that you might have with your brothers? Is this something that you always have, this conversation?
We have these conversations a lot. That's why I was like, go deeper. Like in my head, I was like, go deeper, because we have these conversations. I have them more with Manny than I do with Bug, but even with Bug is extremely intelligent and intellectual. It's just like ridiculous. Like it's mind blowing. Like the things that he says sometimes. And so just like now, I think putting it out on like on a public forum, I definitely think Bug especially is going to talk about it a little more, because he's not really much of a talker at all. Like he internalizes a lot, and like he's like my mom with that. They both internalize a lot, and I'm like, no, we gotta talk about it. I think we said that in the podcast as well in the episode, where like I'm the one who's like, no, guys, let's talk, and they're both like, no, they're gonna figure it out on their own. So now that we've talked about it, I think he's gonna be more willing.
He was very talkative during the episode, and I loved what he had to say. I think both of them have a strong grasp as to where their place is within this adoption and who they are and who they want to become. And it's a beautiful thing to witness.
Yeah, they're very beautiful people, beautiful souls.
Here are my reflections. 1, each one of us is in process. We have different paces and varying needs for how to move through this process. So be patient, because it probably will take a lifetime of reprogramming, rewiring, undoing, breaking open, and then taping yourself back together again. So go gently. 2, when an adoptee chooses to seek out their biological family, they aren't doing it to hurt the family that raised them. It actually has nothing to do with the adoptive family at all. It's a pilgrimage of self-actualization that is sacred and necessary. I repeat, it has nothing to do with how well the adoptee was raised or loved. Love is not on trial here. It's not about you. It's about the adoptee. 3, this, I believe, that adoptees have a heightened capacity for understanding other people, because we had to tap into acute adaptability and survival skills at an early age. It is said that our resilience and tenacity was derived from learning early on that the world was not safe. Wow, okay. Gorgeous work, my friends. 1,000 thanks to Schai and her brothers Jaccen and Manny for their generosity of time and spirit. Such a great conversation. And did you know that Schai's coming out with her own podcast centered on incarcerated women? It's called Chow, and it's going to rock your world. I cannot wait. I'll leave info on where to find all 3 of these wonderful guests in the show notes below. For this glorious holiday season, remember to go to Island Creole Box for your self-care with a Caribbean flair. Use Courage My Love for 30% off. As we're listing off all the things that we're grateful for in this season, I am so very grateful for your wonderful reviews. that have created an easier pathway for people to find this podcast. So thank you so much for leaving that iTunes reviews. It makes all the difference. Another beautiful episode. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you to my guest today. If you liked this episode, the best way to support me and this work is to write an iTunes review, a 5-star review. This helps us reach the top of searches and helps more people to find us. And if you personally want to connect, please reach out on Instagram or Facebook. And I have some great resource material on my website at laniceantoineshelley.com. So go on over there too. Until next we meet, go gently and have courage, my love.